Hello and welcome to the reading for the energy of Taurus. This series I am using the Dreamkeeper's Tarot. This is a reprint of the 1909 Rider-Waite-Smith deck in honor of Pamela Coleman Smith's birthday that was on February 16th. And this is an oracle deck, a Kickstarter called Timeless Tales Oracle, and it is based around different stories, fairy tales, and stories within cultures. So beautiful deck as well. And I did a tarot chat for Pamela Coleman Smith's birthday, and just a little tribute and reading to her, thanking her for just being grateful for what she did for tarot, and you know, just thanking and being happy for all of that. All right, Taurus, this is your reading, and I would like to say that we all have the energy of Taurus in our chart due to the house system. So if you are here by way of title, great. Sometimes we need to use the titles as a way for us to find things on an intuitive level. Not every Taurus is going to be going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. And because this is a general reading, it would be extremely difficult for a reader to pinpoint on everybody's situation. I would have to be extremely, extremely vague. So hopefully if this reading is not resonating with you, you can find a reading by way of title. All right, one more good shuffle. Okay, Taurus, let's see what is going on with you. Seven of Cups. Now, it is a little dark because we've got the World in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. It's a little dark because I love the backs of these cards here. I'll show it to you. Just this filigree is beautiful, and with the lights on, it blows out the beautiful filigree color. I guess because the card is so light and you can hardly see it. So here we are. I'm turning it up, and that light is a little in the way. I had to move my lighting around because my heater is blowing under my desk onto me. We have strange weather here in the Gulf Coast, so it is like 50 degrees outside. And yesterday, or last week I should say, it was 80. So I was just a little sad that it became so cold. Anyhow, I've got my space heater on. Okay, the World in reverse. Now, this is the final card of the Major Arcana, and this is the card that lets you, you're basically in a new world because you have gone through so many experiences, learned new things, gained wisdom. You basically see life, your world, your environment in a different way. So in a way, it's like a new world. And so that's what this card means for me. And we do have this key Seven of Cups in reverse, and I'm sorry, not in reverse. Let me gather myself for a second. I don't know why I just became really flustered. No matter, Taurus. We are going to figure this out. Okay, just drink a little bit of tea. All right. I think I might have gotten a little flustered because I had to move that light, but who knows? So with our Seven of Cups card here, this card is of fantasy, and lots of, you know, it can be like lots of different choices, different varieties, but I read this card as more of a fantasy, kind of head in the clouds, not really not really paying attention to what's going on in reality, but more so creating a different reality, and just not being fully aware. The art in this card is pretty indicative of that. You see she has these many different faces, and all these cups are just kind of floating around. And so the feeling that I'm getting here, the Seven of Cups coupled with the World in reverse, we'll talk about this King of Swords in reverse in just a second, is that while the King of Swords does play a big role in deciphering this, because kings for me are heir of all kings are heir, and this particular king is king of air. I mean, King of Swords. He's air, and he's in the suit of air, so he's heir of air. And so this is a lot of cerebral, logical thinking. With it being presented in reverse, this energy is not quite presenting as it should be. So I am definitely getting the feeling that you're in a situation that is not, you've kind of created your own reality with this a situation that you're in. You've kind of come up with a meaning, if that makes sense, that really isn't based in what it truly is. Perhaps you're wanting to ignore something that's going on, and you don't want to face the reality. You don't have to deal with the consequences of that particular reality. Whatever it is it's a definite sort of fantasy world, and it's keeping you from experiencing the true world. It's keeping you from really understanding what's going on. Let us pull from this 1909 reprint, the RWS Rider-Waite-Smith. And we're going to get a little bit more information on what could possibly be going on. And, you know, that's not like Taurus energy to, well, I guess perhaps if you're too much indulged and too, too much in the moment and enjoying what you have, enjoying the food, the smells, the feelings, and perhaps you don't want to leave that happy spot. And so you've created this place where everything is just roses and gumdrops. You know, you've got your rose-colored glasses on. That reminds me, when I went to the dentist, they give us like these goggle type things, so that dental light is not shining in our eyes, and mine were pink, and I was like, rose-colored glasses, my favorite. And you know, there's nothing wrong. Sometimes you want to be in, you need to escape from the harsh realities of you know, a dirty kitchen, and you know, litter out on the streets, the homelessness problems, the people who are at war. You know, there's just so many things that are going on in our lives that we hear about, and it's just like, so it can be very draining on the heart, on the soul, and sometimes you just want to kind of go to a safe, sparkly place. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, going there once in a while. I think that the issue comes when we stay there too long, and then reality kind of gets neglected, and then we find ourselves in a hole of our own. So let's see. So we've got the Three of Wands in reverse, and we've got the Knight of Wands in reverse. Then we've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. We also have the Devil, Major Arcana, Five of Wands in reverse, Three of Cups in reverse, the Chariot. Did I turn up these lights? I don't think I did. Let me see. Oh, I did turn them up. Perhaps it's because I turned that light to the side because of the glare. It just seems a little dark. Oh, and then here we go, another Seven of Cups. And then we've got the Four of Pentacles. All right, let me change your view here. And here is your magnificent spread. Okay, so we've got 3 major arcana appearing here. We've got the Devil and the Chariot, and on top of the World in reverse here. We do have Seven of Cups making an appearance twice, and we've got some wand energy going on. Okay, so what is staring at me right now is this Devil situation here. This might be a repeating pattern for you where you might often retreat to this place so that you don't have to focus on what's going on in your environment. You can retreat to a safe place. However, this safe place that is seemingly safe to you is actually creating a lot of discord, a lot of just a mess that is harder to clean up, I would say. With our Seven of Cups energy here, we have the Knight of Wands, the Three of Wands, and then the Ten of Pentacles. All 3 are in reverse. And this is indicative of saying that you're not really taking care of business, that things are just starting to deteriorate. You have a situation here in the Ten of Pentacles where there is some security. There is, this is the Legacy card. And this is basically where you are taking care of physically. So while this energy is presenting that it's here, because it's in reverse, there's a deterioration of all of this because you're not taking care of the reality. You're spending more time in that rose-colored space because you don't want to face a certain situation. And our Devil here is showing us that this is a recurring pattern. And like I said, it's okay to escape to these places once in a while. But if you make it a constant thing, you're constantly living there, you're constantly not focusing on what's going on in your external world, things will begin to deteriorate. I mean, you can lose friendships, your house will, of course, will get dirty. You won't take care of your body, of your physical needs. And this escapism can not just be living in the mind, but it can also be doing something as innocuous as playing a video game and living in that reality, becoming a part of virtual reality and just wanting to spend so much time within that space that you're not taking care of things that are going on around you, things that you're needed. We've got this Three of Cups in reverse, which is kind of like a celebration card, but it's like people coming together and being happy. And so I feel like there is a neglect of perhaps a family, maybe friendships. There's just some neglect. And while we have this Five of Wands in reverse, generally that's a good thing, meaning that any kind of conflict is sort of suspended, but I feel like you've kind of put yourself in this situation where you're not wanting to deal with this conflict. So you've kind of artificially, superficially suspended this conflict. You've kind of just taken yourself out and said, nope, I'm just not going to deal with it. Like, out of sight, out of mind type of mentality. But I feel like this is just, it's, if kept on in this mindset, or in this way of being, is there's going to be a deterioration of all that to be your reality. Now, we're not quite there yet where we can transfer our minds into a virtual reality, but I don't really know that that's a place that we would want to be. I mean, I can't really say that. All I can say is what I know from watching, certain movies, like Black Mirror or whatever. But, a reality is a reality. So, yeah, I don't know. I digress. So the fact is that we are living on this plane in this physical right now, and things are being neglected, and there is possibly some shadow work that needs to be done as to why you are not working on these things, and you're wanting to put them out of sight and out of mind. There should be a deep understanding on your part as to why you don't want to deal with these things. And at one point, if this is something within your past, at one point, this may have been a way of survival on your part, for you just to stick your head in the sand and, just kind of ignore what's going on. But as we get older, those survival methods become outdated, and they no longer serve us. They may have served us when we were younger and as a child, but as an adult, we can't necessarily put our heads in the sand, because things will deteriorate. Relationships, house, jobs. There's much in our physical that needs to be tended to. With our King of Swords in reverse, I just don't really feel like you're looking at this in the most logical sense. I do feel like you're kind of headstrong in which would make sense. Taurus the bull. You're pretty headstrong and secure of where you're at, and it might it's going to take a lot of like digging. I just noticed that this chariot here has bosoms. I wonder, let me show you. Has it always been like this? Look on that white Sphinx, has bosoms. And, they're uneven as most are, which I'm going to have to check on that. I don't have another RWS Pixie deck upstairs. I'll have to check on that. Okay, again, I digress. So I do see that you're pretty headstrong, and you really would like to remain and stay here with our Four of Coins. This is a real, I am stuck here. I am firmly planted. I'm not moving. And I understand that. And it might be painful for you to lift your head out of that hole and kind of see the disarray that has happened, and also take responsibility for it. But I mean, keeping the head in the sand, it's not going to make things go away. They're just going to deteriorate even further, and perhaps even, disappear. If you're trying to ignore a relationship, a friendship, whatever it is, if you really want it to go away, perhaps the best thing is to face it head on and say, look, I don't like what we have here. I don't appreciate it. I think we should part ways. And, that is a much better way of dealing with something as opposed to putting your head in the sand, because you take control. You have firm control of what is going on. You're saying, I am not going to deal with this. I don't need this in my life anymore. Cut off, and you can move forward, as opposed to having your head in the sand and waiting for that to disappear on its own. You're on the time of that thing that you're waiting to disappear. And meanwhile, you're missing out on the beauty of life outside of the whole, beautiful sunsets, the rain, butterflies fluttering in the sky from flower to flower. You're missing out on other relationships that you could be fostering. And so the advice that I can give is to not hide from it, to not run from it, face it head on, and tackle it with on your time, and tackle it from a sense of, this is not serving me, I'm going to release this. And I think that just by doing that perhaps might even help you to work on this shadow aspect, or the reason that you were that you put yourself in this situation, the reason why you put your head in the hole. Maybe that's, you're just used to dealing with things that way. So and when you see and you take the power back, and you see the power that you have and that you can exude, I think will sort of wake you up a bit and be like, and you can be like, hey, I hope, I just lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. So I will end the reading there. Just take control. You don't have to let things happen around you to get your way. You can take it by the reins and do things on your own time. All right, so Timeless Tales. This is a Kickstarter deck, and it was done by the lovely Olena. She's done a few other decks. I know I have one of her other decks that I picked up as an add-on, which is amazing. I did a flip through. It's in the description box if you'd like to check that out. I also did a flip through of her other deck. It's like a surrealist type deck. Pretty cool. She wrote the words, but she didn't do the art. The art is done by Midjourney. And fabulous job. Just fabulous all around product. I'm very happy with it. Now, I will say there are some misprints in this deck and within the book, but this is her first printing, and that's what second editions are for, is to clear all that up. And I certainly do not mind when there are misprints. As a matter of fact, I have a deck that I bought because of a misprint. They spelled pentacles, pentacles, P-E-N-T-A-C-K-L-E-S, and I bought that deck because of that misprint. So I do not mind. Okay, one more shuffle for you, Taurus, and let us get your card. Charisma. Are you hiding that charisma from us? Hiding in that hole? So this is from the Pied Piper story. And let's see. And this book is beautifully done as well. Look at that. Glossy pages. And we got a full page. Actually, it's a full page and a half of description. Okay, so step into the mesmerizing allure of magnetic charm with the Charisma card, drawing its captivating essence from the enigmatic tale of the Pied Piper. This card celebrates the pool of a compelling presence, yet also cautions against the potential dangers of unchecked influence. When the Charisma card dances into your view, you are invited to examine the powers of attraction and persuasion in your life. The charisma card embodies the magnetic force of personality, charm, and persuasive influence. This card resounds in your reading. When this card resounds in your reading, it might indicate a period where you're particularly influential or under the sway of someone else's charisma. Perhaps maybe you're hiding from someone's energy. You know, that could be something as well. And perhaps you don't want to, this energy that you're hiding from could be very intimidating, and you're not quite sure how to deal with it, so you just want to hide from it. And that, you know, that is completely understandable. Some people have very strong personalities, and those of us who have a more subtle and quiet demeanor, it's sometimes intimidating for us to stand up to those who have a more boisterous presence. So I completely understand that. Okay, recommended action. If you recognize a surge in your influence or find yourself entranced by another's charm, pause and reflect. While charisma can be a potent tool for connection and leadership, it's essential to wield its responsibility. It's essential to wield it responsibly and remain alert to its effects on others. Cultivate genuine relationships and ensure your intentions align with the highest goods. All right, so take that advice as you will. If you can apply this to any certain part of your life, please do so. If maybe only a portion of this applies to your situation, use that. My readings are not, this is the way it is, this is the way it's going to be, this is what you should do. That's not how my readings are. My readings are meant to shed a different sort of light on a situation, and have you look at a situation in a way that maybe you have not. So it's all about awareness, and if we can be aware, when we are aware of something, we can make changes to change it. Okay, Taurus, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Take care, and I'll see you next video.